How's everybody doing? It's been a while. I'm back. I take a little bit of time. Sometimes you gotta sit in silence. So you can get your energy back, you gotta be quiet for a little bit. Get your mind right. Make sure you're talking about what you need to be talking about. This video is gonna be a little longer than our traditional videos, so do a 3-part video. I'm gonna be addressing quite a few different things that I've gotten a request on the Messenger DM to talk about. So I'm gonna do it in a storyline so it can kind of come together, and then I'm gonna chop it up, and then you'll be able to click on the different parts just to make it easier for you to follow. But before I get started, my name is Maya G. I am Maya G on Instagram and Maya G the Goat on YouTube. I'm based out of South Florida. My vlog is basically based on my personal experience as a human being and going through the awakened spirituality part of my life. It's based on my clients' experiences and the clients that I've helped with helping raise their own potentials. I hope you can find my videos to be helpful on your journey. If you like the message that I'm spreading and my intention, go ahead and subscribe. Be sure to share this video with everybody you know. It's much appreciated. My goal is to, even if I'm able to reach one person, then I have done my part as a human being, which is to serve and to live on purpose. All right, so having said all that, my message is very raw. It's not for the faint at heart. You know, if you're not comfortable with your truth as of yet, you may find my delivery to be a little bit harsh. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize up front, but not sorry, because sometimes we have to hear the harsh truth in order for us to make a change. You know I had to. All right, having said all that, it's been brought to my attention that, how to deal with self-acceptance and confidence. If you know me personally, you know that I'm very confident no matter what I'm going through. And I'm gonna say that started from childhood. You know, when I was a little girl in school, I went to I think I was in the 1st or 2nd grade, and I was the tallest one in the class, and the kids were picking on me about having a big head, and and literally just laughing, how much of a big head I have, and now I think about it, that was quite funny, but they were picking on me. So I went home and I had that conversation with Mom, and I'm like, Mom, at school the kids are picking on me, they're saying I have a big head and blah blah. And my mom was like, baby, there's nothing wrong with having a big head. That means you have a lot of knowledge. You have space for all that knowledge. And that moment, when they said that I had a big head from that day, I would just laugh and make jokes about it. And as I laughed and made jokes about it, the jokes went away. You have to know when it's time to diffuse certain things. And even as a little kid, I want to say I was like 6 or 7, just with that one statement from my mom, I was able to diffuse that situation, and that was done. As life would, move along, I realized that humans like to be in cliques. And I've always been that person that never wanted to be in nobody's clique. Like, I didn't need cliques to make me feel, confident, to make me feel accepted, because I've always been, that outsider. The cliques would be here, Maya would be there. I would hang out with the underdogs. And had no problem with that, because I just didn't care about cliques. I remember, fast forward into high school, I made a friend, and the black girls didn't think she was black enough because she had nicer hair and she was prettier than them, so they would pick on her. And that she actually became my best friends, and we're still friends to this day. And I look back at that and I'm like, even then, I didn't care about the cliques. And I'm talking about cliques could be like 6, 7, 10 people sometimes that are going against one person. And that one person would be the person that Maya's attracted to being cool with, when a lot of people in the clique sometimes would be people that I know, people that I could be cool with. But because I don't value what people that don't, if you don't know how to think independently and you need an association to feel powerful, I don't want to be associated with you, because I believe that we are leaders by default. Okay? And if you decide that you need to be part of a clique to be comfortable in your skin, you're weak. And I'm not attracted to weak people. So naturally, I was attracted to have her as a friend, and we have a beautiful friendship throughout the years. And that was good, because I promise you, those cliques, they probably don't exist anymore. They probably don't even know where the members are at this point, because it's been so many years ago, right? So that was, another evidence of standing in your own truth, how important that is if you're trying to take your life to another level. If you're trying to be powerful, if you're trying to be remembered, you have to stand in your own truth. When you get into little cliques, you're dealing with people that have low self-esteem, people that have confidence issues, people that are struggling with poverty. You're dealing with people that have a lot of issues, and because they're unable to rise by themselves, they become these clusters of society, and they're trying to pull in whatever they can to create something, because they can't create nothing by themselves. Why would I be attracted to that? I wasn't attracted to that as a kid, not attracted to that as a teenager, not even as an adult. As I worked for the government, there were cliques. There were cliques, and it's amazing because a lot of the members of the cliques they'll identify how stronger you are. They'll even identify your talents one-on-one. But they would try to tear you down when they get in these cliques. They would probably play the Judas and the group, because the clique sees that, oh, she trusts you. Let's see how we could use you to tear her down. But see, the thing is, you have to know the story of a man or woman who stands alone. Most of the time, people who stand alone are really not standing alone. They have a power that is above them, that's walking with them. Look that up. Look that up. It's very easy to get sucked in by what everybody else wants you to do. So if you have not been brought up to be a leader off jump, trying to do that as an adult is going to be so much work. It's easier to just sit back and just observe and do nothing. And do nothing to injustice. Do nothing to being part of a clique that will serve you no good in the long run. So I pose this question. What are you doing to progress? Yeah, you sitting there wishing about a wonderful life, how life could be, but who can get glory if they're sitting in shit? If they're sitting and not wanting to make a move, if they're sitting in injustice, if they're, clustering all this negativity, who can have glory with that? Interesting stuff. This is deep stuff, And the urge to come on and do this extended version of my conversation is really based on feedbacks and comments, and also requests that I've been getting from the population. So I hope this video can serve its purpose, as that is my mission, to come on here and actually have a conversation that's going to serve purpose, not just talking. We could go back to childhood. I know that even though as a young adult, I was, brought up to live in a way that would be pleasing to my family, live in a way that would be pleasing to my peers. So I tried my best. I tried my best to keep them happy. But what I realized is that as I was trying to keep everybody happy, I was personally and internally miserable. Okay? And it wasn't till I started getting these horrible panic attacks that I realized that something was off. Something was off and something wasn't working. And when I decided to, do something about it, I decided that I would be walking away from a job that paid me very well. And I called my mom, to let her know that, I think that the job had served its purpose at this point in my life, and I was walking away. And she freaked out, even though I had already started the entrepreneur side gigs, she freaked out and she's like, oh my God, you're walking away. I don't know if that's a good idea, I mean, can't you try to make it work? I'm like, Mom, I can't, I'm getting sick. I feel like I want to throw up. This is not it. I gotta go. And, against her wishes, I think that was the first time that I did something for myself, and I didn't care who approved, who didn't approve. And why was that? It was because there's gonna come a point in your life where you have to go against everybody for your own well-being. Some of them will stop talking to you. Some of them, will stop being your friend. I remember my dad telling me, I'm not gonna give you no money. This is gonna be a loan. I said, okay, that's fine. Loan. I get this money, you ain't getting it back. I've never asked you for nothing, so you give me this money, you ain't getting it back. That's period. I didn't let my ego get in the way that time. I'm gonna go ahead and give him this money. Nah, you're my dad. You may not be happy that I decided to take life by the horn, but that's what I'm doing. And if this is your mean of support, I'm taking it, I'm running with it. Period. People can feel how they feel about that. There's a certain level of confidence that is required to do the things that is required to do for you to save yourself. Because nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. Not a lover, not friends, not family. Everybody that is in your life, they're in your life for two reasons. One, they're going to try to live their dream vicariously through you, or they're trying to hold you back. Period. Nobody's coming to save you. The only time you will get some type of refuge or some type of support is when you make an internal decision within yourself. There's no light at the end of that tunnel, but you decide to make a decision internally for yourself. Then God's going to step in and send you help. And how do you know that it's for your good? How do you know these people are showing up to help you? Is when they have nothing to gain by your progress. Something to think about. They have nothing to gain by you progressing. That's going to be support and help from divine, from God, from Allah, whatever you believe in, okay? Anybody else outside of that that's trying to tell you how to be, who to be with, what job to work, where to go, how to dress, why you did this, why you did that, post this picture, don't post that. Anybody that's trying to control you, is not divinely ordered. They're not from God. They're not here to support you. They're here to control you. Let me repeat that. Anybody that's trying to tell you how to live is not on your side. Mother, father, brother, cousin, sister, little dog, your friends, anybody that's trying to tell you how to live, do not support you. They do not love you. People that enter your life will support your decisions. Period. Not control your decisions. It is very important that you know the difference. And I'm so thankful and so fortunate that I have always been the type of person that marched to the beat of my own drum. I don't need nobody's approval to be okay. I could be by myself. I could be in a room by myself. Because I don't care about being famous. I don't care about being liked. because being my true self is lovable. So people will love me either way. So I don't care about putting on this mask for people to like me. I think that it's even more attractive when you can be yourself and people can love you for who you are, versus trying to be somebody else, having anxiety, panic attack like I was doing because I was too busy trying to make sure that I was, getting that strong check and make my family proud. Oh, you should go work for immigration because da 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 da. You should do this because of da 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 da. I did 11 and a half years of that and I was miserable. So guess what? I got up, I said enough of that, I'm out. There's a certain level of strength that is required for you to say no more, and until you're able to be yourself, you can't bring in nothing else, right? So people that are living their life, with other people in mind, you are living your life to keep everybody else happy. You're living your life to get everybody else's approval. Well, newsflash, they're not going to be happy with you anyway because they're not happy with themselves. Can't nobody love you better than you. And that's reality. You take it how you want. Nobody can love you better than you. And if you think anybody else is capable of loving you more than you love you, you're sadly mistaken. If you're not able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love me, I love what I see, trust and believe everybody around you is here to teach you a lesson. They are not here to love you. Until you have achieved a level of self-respect, a level of integrity, a level of, just goddess or God, you will not be entitled to true love. Because true love is derived by self-reflection. Until you can look at yourself in the mirror and be completely naked and be completely vulnerable and be completely, just in awe of the greatness that lies within you, everybody around you is to teach you a lesson. Now, they might be using you as a puppet. They might be here to break your heart. They might be here to reflect, your own insecurities about yourself, but they are not there to love you. And that's from friends, that's for family member, that's for the job that you work at, until you get to a place that you love who you are. You love what what God has created. Until you get comfortable in that skin, everybody, everybody. The little dog, the cat, your friends that you think they're your friends, your family members, your neighbor, everybody that comes into contact with you will be here to do one thing and one thing only, is to piss you off, break you down, skin you like a freaking fish to bring out the person that you're supposed to be. And the more that you resist on doing that, the more events will keep occurring in your life for that shit to happen. And the more you keep resisting that, and the more it keep happening, the harder, the tougher, the longer, harder, tougher, longer. Keep repeating itself. It's not going to stop. Why? Because your sole purpose, your sole purpose in this life is to learn love. And you can't learn love until you love self. And when you love yourself, then you'll have the opportunity, you'll be granted access for others to love you. Until then, it's just fun and games. Until then, you're just a puppet in everybody else's show. Until then, you're living somebody else's lies. Period. You can't be in a group of people that talk down and destructive about others to think they're gonna talk great about you. Who are you? You ain't nobody. You're somebody's conversation. You're tools to somebody's conversation. Period. Do you think people, let me give you a scenario. If you're driving down the block, you run into a homeless guy with a sign and he's begging. You give him $1, you keep it moving. Is he gonna be the topic of conversation? Is he? However, if you go down the block to the supermarket and as you're parking your car, you see this nice, shiny, fancy Maserati pulled in, shiny wheels, just beautiful car. They open up the door and they got your favorite color leather seats. Mine's is red. Open up the car, black car, red leather seats. They come out flawless. Hair's on point, outfits on point. They smell good. They're smiling. They're greeting everybody. Chances are that person is going to be the topic of conversation for you for a while, because it's not something you see every day. So that's what it's like to stand in your own truth. When you stand in your own truth, you are a leader. You stand outside of everybody else. Now, whether or not they'll admit that you're a leader, that's a whole different story. But understand that we are supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to trigger change when people come into contact with us. When they come into contact with us, we need to be different. We don't need to be in clusters. We don't need to be accepted by others. We need to be accepted by ourselves and accepted by our divine who have brought us here. And when you can do that, now these little clusters, they're going to come around to test you. They're going to come around to test your character. They're going to come around to test your work. Now, it's up to you if you decide to let them affect you. But if you do decide to affect you, just know that if you are at level 10, you're going to be brought down to level 5. And if you allow it, then you're going to be brought down to level 3. And next thing you know, you're going backwards. Level 1. It's very, very, very important for you to keep a close handle on why people want to be around you, why people want to be friends with you. What are you bringing to the table that they want so badly? Do they want your life? And I'm not talking about your life as a human being. No, I'm talking about taking the good that you're supposed to do. Because negative energy, devil energy, is always at play. And its pure job is to interrupt the work that you're doing. So if the people around you are not positive and they're not making progress, they're not moving forward, they're caught up in gossip, they're caught up in cluster of misery, and you're trying to attract new things into your life, you're trying to do new things into your life, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to get what you really, really deserve as you are vibrating in the gutter. You can't attract nothing when you're vibrating in the gutter. Okay, so if you're trying to attract love, prosperity, a new life, better relationships, you cannot attract better relationships while you're keeping people or energies around you that are at this level. Okay, attractions, the law of attraction can only work and manifest as we are vibrating at the same level of what we're trying to attract. So if you're trying to attract somebody who is spiritual, but you're still, kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out on your own personal spirituality, you might be able to attract a conversation. You might be able to attract, being in the same room with that person. But on a spiritual level, on an energy level, no matter what you believe in, on a spiritual level, on an energy level, you're not going to be able to attract that person until you get right with yourself. Because everything is about self. Everything starts with self. That mirror is real. That mirror is real. It doesn't matter what you believe in. That mirror is very real. So if you're trying to attract more abundance in your life, but yet you're having negative conversation, you're entertaining negative people, you're hanging out with people that are living in lack, it's gonna be hard for you to attract abundance. I used to say, it's not possible that birds of a feather flock together. You could be around people and have your own identity. I used to say that. I fooled myself for years because, I'm strong-minded. So I figured if I'm strong-minded, weak-minded people can affect me. Weak-minded people may not be able to infect, that's a good word. They may not be able to infect you directly, but they are causing effect indirectly. So they might be interfering with your energy. They might be interfering with the level that you're vibrating at. Okay? And you don't even see it, because in your mind, you're thinking like, yo, I got this. I know what I'm doing. But they're slowing down your blessings without your permission. They are slowing down your blessings without your permission. So if you want to really see who's who in your who's who's, you create space. You back up. Because truly, if you're trying to manifest something, and I mean really trying to bring in a new life, some new energies, some new opportunities into your life, you have to be willing to make room for that. Okay? You cannot be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. What you believe and what you are intending to get, they have to mesh. At the lower level, fear, doubt, gossip, bad health, bad energy, they're down here. And you can manifest now. You can manifest at that level, but you're only going to manifest bad things, bad relationships, jobs that's not going to serve you, company that's flawed. It's not going to be productive. It is impossible to manifest amazing anything when you have not become amazing yourself. Everything that's going to show up in your life is going to be a reflection of yourself. If you're cunning, you're a liar, you're a thief, you're a cheater, you're destructive, you manifest all right. And when they show up, they're going to have a nice red bow on them, looking so beautiful. And you're going to be like, yes, I manifested this in my life. And of course, because you're a snake, because you're cunning, because you're a liar, eventually that mask gonna come off. And you're gonna be like, wait a minute, that's not what I manifested. That's not what I asked for. Yes, it is. You are not entitled to get anything better than who you are. Period, point blank. You can only manifest who you are. So you want to skip the work. You don't want to change your mind. You don't want to become a better person. You don't want to change your environment. Then you don't get the opportunity to bring new things, better things into your life. You just don't. And that's something that I had to learn personally. And I have clients of mine, and they'll come to me and be like, Maya, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I'm like, listen, a man who chases 2 rabbits will end up with none. So if you're trying to, work on this business, you have to focus on this business. If you're trying to be with this person, you have to focus on this person. You have to make a decision. You can't be trying to manage 2 things. You'll end up losing everything. And where does that come from? That comes from, the concept of tunnel vision, the concept of manifesting, and the concept of, being 100% dedicated to what you say that you are dedicated to. As long as you're sitting on the fence on anything, you're not going to be able to manifest anything. So this portion of the video was really to kind of give an idea of what could be blocking or holding up your manifestation powers. You being able to manifest. We're all able to manifest, but we're gonna be manifesting at our level of vibration. So if we're vibrating low, we're gonna vibrating low things. And even though it might show up nice and shiny, the core of that vibration is gonna be a mirror match to our core. So if our core is not honest, if our core is not good, if our core is not productive, it's not revolutionary, if our core is still dirty, we're gonna manifest our mirror self. It's not gonna look like our mirror self at first, but as time progresses, we will realize that we manifested something that we didn't want. So the first thing and the key thing I'm realizing with manifesting what you want to manifest, it comes from within. You're going to become a better person within, a loving person within, with great intention within. And as you're doing that work and you're really having a real relationship with yourself and with your God, and I say with your God, not to say there's many gods, but I say with your God, because there's a personal relationship that we need to have with God, with the divine, with the higher power, that has nothing to do with nobody else but ourselves. And once you're able to have that relationship and come whole with that, then you'll be granted access to have whatever it is that you desire. Not because of anything, but it is our right as human beings to live abundantly and to have whatever we ask for. I hope that, the video did go a little bit over. I covered a lot of different things, but this is to go into the the way to manifest what you desire. Okay, guys, be sure to leave your comment, feedback. It's been my pleasure to serve you on this. I'm gonna be coming back with some other topics that I've been asked to discuss. There's a lot of things to be considered if you wanted to manifest, and it's a little bit harder. You need to know why, and the reason why is what's in your heart. You cannot manifest great things if your heart is not great. You cannot manifest pure things if your heart is not pure. Before I go, lastly, I want to talk about this real quick. I know a lot of people have a lot of acquaintances. At this part of my life, I don't call everybody a friend, so I'm going to say a lot of acquaintances. There's people out in the world that, they have the money, They're posting about the money, they're posting about the trips, they're posting about the dinners, and they're posting about, the gifts and all this glam and glory and stuff they got going on. But they're not posting about the pain. They're not posting about how disconnected they are. They're not posting about the depression, and they're not posting about pulling a trigger. They're not posting about that. And now those same people are the people that some of us may be out here trying to impress, trying to be friends with. Something to think about. Work on yourself, work on your spirit, work on your heart. And if you say you're gonna do it, keep it to yourself. You're not fooling nobody but yourself. Your conversation with God is your conversation with God. We all don't care. I mean, I care because I'm putting this video out to help somebody out there in the world. But nobody cares about your progress but you. Because your progress will be the key component that's gonna take you up to the next level. And as you're going up to the next level, you're not gonna be able to take everybody with you, and you should be okay with that. So as you're doing that internal work, be comfortable with the fact that you're gonna be very uncomfortable and very lonely. And if you don't wanna be lonely, and if you don't wanna be uncomfortable, then don't do the work. Sit back, relax, stick with the cluster of people that's not going anywhere. Stick with the conversation that's destructive. Know everybody else's business but your own, and you'll continue manifesting that. I am an advocate on watching. If you're older than me and you're not in a better position than me, and I'm not talking about financially, I'm talking about spiritual, I'm talking about, in terms of progress as a human being. If you're older than me and you're not doing better than me on a, even spiritual or relationship level, if you're not doing better than me, I have no interest in being in the same room with you and conversation with you, because there's nothing that you've done in your life that's gonna help me. Nothing. And anyway, I could go on and on about this topic. I hope you got the value that you needed. Anybody that watching this video that can definitely feel it, please comment below. I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you guys. And thank you for the feedback. We're coming in strong next week. I know it's a holiday, so I might have to just skip a couple of days for next week, just, enjoying some personal time. Having said that, be sure to, share this video with everybody you know. Follow, subscribe, trying to reach, 500 subscribers before the end of December. And with you guys' help, I know I can definitely reach it. My name is Maya G, and that's Maya G to go on YouTube. You guys have a wonderful day, and thank you.